could kill you.
Yes.
I want answers, asshole.
Under the but I need you. You have traveled. It's good to finally. I am.
Bullshit.
In the vault. You have, but then you. Is it really? And
They
right. At that time, the scientific cure. So they.
So the weird science experiments.
You know, the even.
Yeah, we've all been through this.
Sean.
It really. I know you must.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Sean, she loved you. So much.
I have no doubt. I'm afraid I have very little experience with those emotions, having lived my life within the Institute. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes. That is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
your institute has done some horrible things.
Yes, well, the world is not what it used to be. What about the people you've aided in order to get here? What atrocities have they committed? These Minutemen, claiming to want to save the Commonwealth from itself. They cannot even protect themselves. Their cause is a doomed one. None have any true claim to nobility in this world. Those days are gone. But we are not the monsters we have been cast as. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
You know what? Let's see what happens if you say yes.
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Alright, let's see what goes on inside the Institute here.
This a clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not
We will
see the
secure
grinding
this
dust?
location.
Hi.
Don't make
Reporting
excuses.
status.
You're
All
clearly
functions
affected, and I
normal.
intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled.
Welcome
we
to
can
the
use your
Institute, sir.
components to make something that's actually useful.
This is really fucking cool.
Be on the lookout for unusual synth behavior.
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Have you seen my notebook laying around?
Know how many motherfuckers I killed?
I can't remember. Oh well, I don't need it right now.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now. You can resume your duties.
If you encounter a hazardous chemical spill, please alert the Facilities Division immediately.
Hey, Doc.
It's a real juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next blackout's gonna hit.
Looks like everything's running great. I'd say you're doing your job.
Hey, thanks. It's nice to be appreciated. Most people just take my work for granted. It's the kind of work that only gets noticed when something goes wrong, if you know what I mean. There's some stuff I need to check on. See you around, yeah?
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models won't be
Greetings.
soon enough.
As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
built pretty well.
What can I requisition?
I have access to a modest selection of arms, armor, and other items approved for use in field missions.
Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's see what you got.
Of course.
It's pretty cool.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Excuse me, Doctor.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water, and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, and at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
This place is pretty badass, I'll admit, even though the Institute has done some bullshit.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Hey there.
Dr. Orman's lecture on cold fusion was nothing short of a revelation.
You're here. Glad you made it.
Hi.
Excuse me. Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep
Father
it
is
a little
more than just our
longer?
leader.
I will be happy to
He is our
forward your
creator.
request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please
Scanning.
feel free to
Unknown
check
identity.
our other
Clearance
devices
confirmed.
for food supplements.
I want Supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir.
I thought all the surface people looked like monsters. But you seem pretty normal.
You're gonna have to work pretty hard to impress anyone down here. It's hard to stand out when you're surrounded by geniuses.
I would be here if not for your son.
Father's a great man. You must be very proud.
Good evening. I am at your disposal. Would you care for food-based products?
Let's see what you got.
Okay, let's go talk to the department heads. Can't even figure out where the fuck they're at.